It's me, Midnight! If Mario and Luigi are siblings, why are they so different? And most importantly, being so different, how can they get along so well? I'm Professor Midnight and today we'll find out in my class. Also, I'm gonna have to apologize to you in advance because there's a fly in the room and I can't find it. So if you hear an incessant buzzing, I'm sorry guys, you know who to thank. Something striking about their relationship is that Luigi, in many games of the franchise, actually acts like Mario's partner, making it easily appear like he was a little bit left in the shadow.
You were Ronnie to his Nancy, Sonny to his Cher, Ringo to his rest of the Beatles.
This, plus how different they are, could very easily cause them to antagonize and to even get along terribly. But if we observe their brotherhood closer, we'll see that it's actually pretty balanced and therefore it's natural for them to work as a team. Don't forget the 5 games protagonized by Luigi, and that actually in the most of them, it's him that rescues Mario. Right. But now that we know that they share protagonism every once in a while, what do you say we explore more about their personalities? Since he is the franchise's and Nintendo's pet, let's start with Mario. We all know him for his low height and thick mustache, plus his characteristic outfit including white gloves, brown shoes, blue overall, and of course his red shirt and cap. But the interesting part about this is that the colors of his outfit reveal a lot of details about his personality. Some of them are very known, but some others we will discover today. Red is the color of love and closeness. That would explain Mario's big heart, which we can notice both in the great affection he holds for his brother and on his feelings for Peach. Which, by the way, I know it hasn't officially been said that they are dating, but besides the fact that the games give us certain hints to believe they are, since red is also the color of sensuality and passion, I don't know about you guys, but I think we can assume that if they never go further than a kiss on the nose, it's only because the franchise is family friendly. On the other hand, red is also a dynamic and energetic color that we can notice in Mario's adventurous spirit that make him always ready to start a new quest, even if he didn't expect it. Which is actually almost always because normally he's enjoying life without bothering anyone when Bowser comes and kidnaps Peach. Besides, his assertiveness and self-security in his abilities allow him to go through any adverse situation, regardless of how dangerous the scenery is, sometimes even behaving violent and aggressive towards his enemies, and using boosts that make him more intimidating and dangerous to them. Not because he wants to, but because he needs to. Cause, otherwise they'd kill him. Of course, for these rescues, his brave nature is key. But the reason behind his success also has to do with his intelligence and calm and rational mind, because this is what allows him to find solutions with whatever he has at hand. Sound contradictory with red? That's cause it is! Because all these traits, plus his friendly and kind nature, are much more related to the blue of his overall. Same as this color also shows that he's perceived as a trustworthy person with whom his friends can feel safe around. One of the greatest advantages of blue for Mario is that being the psychological opposite of red, it balances him and prevents his personality to overflow. Thanks to the serenity of blue, is that Mario isn't a particularly irritable or angry person, nor particularly emotional. And this, for example, prevents him to use more violence than needed when attacking Bowser or his Koopas. See that? That is fighting with hate. And same way, the logic and rationality of blue prevent Mario to become sick with power due to his innate leadership and physical abilities. Wow, wait a second! You're saying that if Mario became insane one day, he could conquer all the Mushroom Kingdom and force Peach into marriage? Well, I'll just say that after defeating Bowser, Mushroom King wouldn't be a challenge at all. But luckily that doesn't seem to be his style. And now, let's talk about Luigi, whom despite being the tallest, is Mario's younger brother. We know he shares his mustache and a similar outfit, but with the great difference that the shirt and the cap will be coming in green, which is no other than red's complementary color. So from their outfits, they're already telling us that they are very different. almost opposite poles, but at the same time that they aren't as much. Personality-wise, Luigi is shy and gets scared very easily, which is actually congruent with green, because green is a color with very little inclination to risk due to its association with calm and peace. If we think of the beginning of Luigi's games, we'll see that his attitude is very serene when he can relax. Problem is that his peace is so important to him that if anything disrupts it, he reacts with a lot of anxiety. This could also explain his tendency to remain at Mario's shadow, because in dangerous and scary situations, he feels safe with his brother. However, in the games that he protagonizes like the Luigi's Mansion saga, Luigi proves to us that despite being scared easily, in his way, he's brave. Not being afraid would be much easier to stay in the haunted mansion or the haunted hotel, but given how terrified Luigi is, it's especially brave of him to stay until he rescues everyone. Besides, the green of his clothes is also associated to perseverance and independence, which would explain why instead of giving up, Luigi faces his fears despite not counting on Mario's help. Oh, and in these games we also meet Luigi's greedy side, because unless the player wants the opposite, Luigi will not abandon the area until he has unlocked all the cash and all the hidden gems. No matter how hard we have to look for them, and no matter if there are not even more articles for us to buy. No wonder these games have no time limit to complete an area. Exactly! Unlike Mario's games where due to the dynamism of the character, it would be a little incongruent for him to stay for very long to gather collectibles. Remember that blue balances Mario? Well, in Luigi's case, given the proximity of green to blue, it would be easy to think that they're going to exacerbate each other. And in some cases they do, like on the big need of Luigi to have peace and tranquility. But there are other aspects of Luigi's personality that blue actually does help balance, like his tendency to immaturity and envy. We've talked about how Luigi is constantly overshadowed by Mario, and this could very easily lead him to resent his brother due to comparing himself to him. However, intelligence and rationality prevent this from happening because they allow Luigi to see that instead of fighting, they could make a great team. Not to mention that the logic of blue and the creativity of green allow him to explode his own talents instead of wanting to be like his brother. This we can see on the multiplayer games, where Luigi is capable to jump higher and run faster than Mario. However, he's harder to control because having less traction in running means a more erratic movement. This actually makes sense because since he's constantly scared, the fear would make it harder to move precisely, but the adrenaline would increase certain physical abilities like agility or speed. By the way, have you noticed that Mario's voice sounds much more joyful and enthusiastic than Luigi's?
Let's go! Oh yeah!
Well, this is no coincidence and it has to do with their personalities and emotions. Normally when these characters speak actual words, not only sounds, it's because either they lost all their lives, or they completed an area or found something very good. So Mario that goes into his adventures with a brave spirit reacts very happy when he's successful and very impressed when he fails. And in Luigi's case that he goes into his adventures wanting to avoid risk, when he fails, he sounds even more scared than usual. And when he succeeds, although he is happy, he doesn't sound as intense. But not because he isn't joyful, but because since he was frightened, now that he's safe, what he feels is relief.
Teacher, can I go to the bathroom?
We're almost done, can't you wait?
I don't think so. I ate a purple mushroom.
Oh my god, go to the bathroom now! Since we got interrupted, let me remind you to subscribe to my channel, follow my social networks, and click on the bell so you do not miss the next video of this series. Oh, and also, we've already solved the question that conflicted me the most. Why would Daisy prefer Luigi having someone like Waluigi? So if you haven't already, be sure to take a look. Now that we know more about their personalities and how their colors reflect them, we can begin to understand much better how these two siblings that are almost opposite poles can get along so well. Although complementary colors have a great contrast between them, it's precisely this contrast that allows them to balance each other. Same as Mario and Luigi putting their differences to work in team in the multiplayer games. On the other hand, when two complementary colors are mixed in equal proportions, this will create brown like the color of their shoes. And this is important because being a gregarious, warm and accessible color, if they ever had a conflict, it would be easier for them to set their feet on the ground and remember that even if they do have a lot of differences, the things that unite them are more important. In this, blue has to do as well, because being the color that they both share, its characteristics will symbolize the traits they have in common and therefore allow them to understand each other and feel comfortable and safe together. This we can notice even more in Luigi's mansion, where despite his fear of being permanently trapped in an enchanted frame, Luigi does not leave until he rescues his brother, showing us that, although we can't deny how different they are, Luigi and Mario feel affection and care about each other. So, the answer to today's question would be that although we found out why they are so different, we also found out that they aren't as much, and that actually they have a lot more in common than we would have thought. This is why they constantly show us that being opposite is no obstacle to become a great team.
Alright, don't get all sloppy. No one likes to kiss ass.
Alright, class is over anyways.